Hello, this is Steve Yorty on this HO scale Reading layout. It's March of 2025. Been up here for several days and gotten a fair amount done. I'm going to start as we walk into the basement here. The double deck layout you can see. The top level I have placed some backdrops in. As you walk into the basement, and the bottom level has been painted a sky blue. I don't have the lights on underneath yet, but I think it's going to look okay. Top will be the town of Catawissa, and to the left is the Susquehanna River Bridge crossing, and below will be the staging yard, which has yet to be constructed. The town of West Milton, and Tamaqua on the right side around the bend there. So anyhow, as you come down here, haven't done a whole lot. I've done some of the trackage in this area. That's the Pennsylvania Railroad's Buffalo line. And I've put some of the initial sidings in here in the town of Milton. Not all of them yet. Still got some track work to do, and then I've also installed the backdrops on the left side of the layout here. This is the left-sided Helix. It's been done for a little while, and then again, here's the upper level backdrops on this section of the layout. So other than that, I really haven't done anything. Most of my work's been concentrated as you come down here, and I've put many hours in working on the rest of the layout here, and I must say, I'm pleased to report that the golden spike time has been it's just happened. I've been able to complete the main line, and it can now run trains the entire length of the layout. So as you come around the right side here, I'll come from the top, I think. Trains come across this Mainville viaduct, and I've shown this before. There's going to be a short tunnel here, Schumann's Tunnel. There's going to be a large fill here called the Ringtown Fill. All this I've pretty well done before. On the upper level here, the town of Ringtown, and I had the track coming as far as Lofty. This is Lofty. I've now put in, as you can see, the two Y track sections, which there was a Y there at the top of the mountain at Lofty, which is where the pusher engines were turned. And so we have all that in. And now, the bulk of my work is I finished the right-sided Helix. Pretty much the same design as the left. The Helix goes up about roughly 18 inches, 4.5 turns, 34-inch radius, 1.8% grade, and it works flawlessly. It's all wired in and works very, very well. So the trains will come back down now. Here, we'll come into this outside section. This is all new track that I've laid. And eventually it's going to come to this place called Hawks right here, which is an interchange with the Central Railroad of New Jersey. I have all the interchange tracks in and the siding in. And so far as I know, the interchanged trains here, some coal trains in fact, which went on the central New Jersey to the east to like the Allentown area, on the central New Jersey's Nesquehoning branch, which still exists. It's run by the Reading and Northern. So now the track will come around here, and here's my representation. I have the station in the wrong place. East Mahanoy Junction, which is kind of just a wide spot in the tracks today, but this is where at one time the Catawissa branch branched off of the Redding's main line with 2 tracks going to Shamokin into the coal fields. So I have those 2 tracks in now. And then, as I say, the Catawissa branch comes off. There was a water tank there. You can actually still see the brick base of it, which exists. There was a station, and then the line began to climb at that point, all the way till it got to Hawks, and ultimately till it got to the town of Lofty. So, coming back in the first level here, just like there was in real life, I put in a small girder bridge here, which I'll have to put the base in, and then the train entered right in here, the Tamaqua Tunnel, which still exists today, and eventually it entered the yards at Tamaqua. So I've got that portion of at least the main track in and tied back in. I've started the yard ladder here. So I'm going to have, as you can see, many more tracks here, and I'll probably have some more switches here. Tamaqua Station, by the way. And the tracks will come around, and I'll probably then even have some more switches. So I'll probably have 7 or 8 or so tracks in the yard here, and then eventually they'll come back down here the other direction. That's going to be a pretty long staging yard. So that is really the extent of it. The layout footprint is about 71 feet left to right, right to left, and roughly 20 feet wide. So it's kind of a long, somewhat narrow shape. So it's about a 20 by 70 footprint. I've got all the wiring in. Everything works really well. The length of the track, the main track, is 400 feet. There's 400 feet of track. And at a scale of about 30 miles an hour, which in HO scale, the trains would run about a foot in 2 seconds, is about 30 miles an hour. It takes a train about 15 minutes to traverse the whole thing nonstop. I wanted to show you here how I had the wiring done for the Helix. I just ran some spare copper wire down and then attached track feeders, as you can see, from each section of track. And that's tied in underneath to the main power bus, and I did that on the other side too, so it gives the track plenty of power. So yeah, just in summary here, that's the right side of the layout here, and down the long other side, and then the left side of the layout down here. So obviously a long way to go, but at least I've got the majority of the main tracks and a fair number of the sidings in. So it should provide for a nice long mainline run, as well as some switching opportunities. So that's about where it is right now. So hopefully a little bit at a time we'll continue to work on it. I have more sidings here in Milton to do. Looks like a work zone, which it is, and then I have a ton of tracks to do in this double-sided staging yard. So that should be lots of fun. But appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.